Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a lunchtime drama in Atlanta that was, well, nothing short of breathtaking. We're talking about the round of 16 at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, where a place in the last eight is absolutely everything, right? On one side, we've got the mighty defending champions Argentina. On the other, a relentless Egyptian side totally ready to shock the globe. And you know, the tension was just palpable from the very first whistle. Everybody expected a masterclass from the champs, but instead, they actually found themselves pushed to the absolute brink of an incredibly early and honestly humiliating exit.
I mean, just listen to the sheer weight of these words. The holders 45 minutes to save their title and continue at the World Cup. That was the exact, harsh reality at halftime. The undeniable shock echoing through the stadium was literally deafening. Argentina, the reigning kings of world football, were trailing 1-0. The stakes absolutely could not have been higher, and all that pressure, it was sitting squarely on the shoulders of Lionel Messi and his squad.
Section 1. Defending champions on notice.
So right out of the gate, Egypt came out on the front foot, totally determined to break the deadlock. They sent this fantastic, decisive ball right across the face of the goal, to the far post. And who reacts first? Yasser Ibrahim. But the true catalyst here was actually a defensive lapse. Argentina's Lisandro Martinez put in what we can really only describe as a half-hearted challenge. He just totally takes his eye off the runner. Ibrahim capitalized with a brilliant header back across the goal, leaving Emi Martinez absolutely helpless. And just like that, the world champions were behind.
Now, Argentina couldn't immediately claw their way back, and trust me, it wasn't for a lack of trying. It was because of an absolute goalkeeping masterclass from Egypt's Mustafa Schubert. Whenever Argentina found a route through, Schubert was a brick wall. Messi curled a superb free kick around the wall, denied. Alexis McAllister had a point-blank opportunity, stopped with a sensational save. Julian Alvarez struck hard on goal, Schubert saved it again. Egypt wasn't just getting lucky out there, they were earning every single minute of that lead.
Section 2. Egypt doubles the lead.
Okay, so moving into the second half, the sheer panic setting into the Argentine squad was palpable. We have Egypt's Hassan putting on an unbelievable solo display. He practically runs 3/4 the entire length of the pitch. He just kept going on and on, proving to be an absolute handful. Meanwhile, Argentina's defense was completely unable to contain him. They genuinely looked fearful every time Hassan touched the ball. This relentless, uncontainable run culminated in a great pass into the middle of the box where Zico made absolutely no mistake. 2-0. The alarm bells for Argentina weren't just ringing anymore, they were deafening.
Section 3. The champions awaken.
So, let's look at the massive mountain Argentina had to climb here. Down 1-0 in the first half from Ibrahim. Down 2-0 in the second half from Zico, they were literally teetering on the edge of elimination. But then, the momentum violently swings. Christian Romero connects with a powerful header to make it 1-2. Shortly after, the captain himself, Lionel Messi, equalizes to make it 2-2. And finally, deep into added time, Enzo Fernandez scores the winner. It was a pure, edge-of-your-seat thriller from start to finish.
The absolutely crucial point here is how they actually sparked this turnaround. And it heavily involved a brilliant tactical shift from Lionel Messi. He realized things had to change, right? So he makes this wonderful run down the far side, beating his man, and then completely alters the geometry of the attack with a gorgeous little cross using the outside of his boot. This leads to Lautaro Martinez being just a whisker away from scoring. And even though Lautaro got the timing slightly wrong on that header, this specific maneuver shifted the entire energy of the game. Messi turned pure frustration into lethal playmaking, and Egypt's defense finally began to crack.
4 minutes and 19 seconds. Seriously, just think about that. That is the exact amount of time that elapsed between Christian Romero's powerful header to get Argentina on the board and Lionel Messi's relentless technique-driven finish to equalize. In less than 4.5 minutes, Argentina completely erased Egypt's monumental effort. They kept the ball alive, delivered it into the box, and just overwhelmed Mustafa Schubert. It just goes to show you the devastating capability of this Argentina squad when they decide to flip the switch.
Section 4. Stoppage time thriller.
The sheer disbelief in the stadium was perfectly captured in one unforgettable observation. I've seen it all now, the header of his career. Lautaro Martinez collects the ball and sends a delivery that at first actually felt slightly overhit. The game seemed to literally slow right down in that exact moment. But he didn't panic. He perfectly delayed the cross, and Enzo Fernandez met it with an unbelievable, powerful header deep into added time. Schubert could only watch it go in. It was a complete heartbreaker for Egypt for sure, but an absolutely epic match-winning moment for Argentina.
Now, the aftermath of that goal Pure, unadulterated chaos. The pressure had been boiling all game, and it finally just spilled over. We saw a red card for an Egyptian team staff member right down on the touchline. We saw a very rare hint of raw emotion from Argentina's manager, Lionel Scaloni. Yellow cards were just flying out to Marwan and Shubir, and the Egyptian bench was furious, completely devastated and visibly struggling to control their emotions after playing so outstandingly well for almost the entire match. The drama wasn't just on the pitch, it was everywhere.
To put this whole thing into a broader perspective, Enzo Fernandez's game winner was the 31st stoppage time goal of this 2026 World Cup. That beautifully contextualizes the unbelievable trend of late drama we're seeing in this tournament. Teams are fighting until the absolute final second. And Argentina, despite going through the well to get this done, proved they definitely had the stamina and the nerve to survive in this high-stakes environment.
Which leaves us with this final lingering thought to close out our explainer today. Yes, Argentina survived. They executed a phenomenal, highly dramatic escape. But as we saw today, they were pushed to the absolute limit. They looked fearful in defense and were stifled for long stretches. So, how much further can the world champions bend before they finally break? It's a question literally every upcoming opponent is going to be asking. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep your eyes peeled as this incredible tournament continues to unfold.